Watch his orbital muscles. Look at how those rapid-fire micro-twitches during high-stakes interviews are not attempts at humor, but a hyperactive threat detection glitch firing. It never stops. He lacks a personality. What we see is a high-speed processor tuned to a specific frequency that prioritizes survival through absolute, unavoidable hypervisibility. He is a ghost. His height isn't small. It is a structural pivot that forced a radical adaptation in his neurological response to a world built for larger predators. A forced evolution. Look at North Philadelphia. This is a landscape of geometric probabilities where the weak are erased from the record before they even begin to speak. The void is hungry. Addiction was the spark. His father's instability served as the primary catalyst for a weaponized trauma response that values raw output over the very air he breathes. Oxygen is secondary. Comedy is just delivery. It serves as the primary mechanism for a desperate biological imperative that screams for the world to never look away from his face. Attention is survival. He engineered a sound. Look at how he built a specific sonic frequency capable of shattering the suffocating silence of a broken, chaotic home environment. Silence is the enemy. Study his work ethic. This isn't about being good. It is a surgical redundancy designed to ensure his life never returns to the terrifying zero state. Failure is deleted. His brain demands more. Every deal and every film project serves as a heavy brick in a massive psychological fortress built to keep the darkness out. Safety is volume. The processor stays on. We are witnessing a mind that refuses to enter sleep mode because the metabolic cost is irrelevant to the primary objective. Sleep is a bug. His functioning is anomalous. He manages this multi-vertical empire not with feeling, but through a lens of calculated biological aggression that refuses to permit mistakes. Coldly efficient. Every joke is data. He constantly monitors the audience's synaptic firing rates, adjusting his internal cadence to maximize the immediate dopamine payout for the room. High-speed optimization. Meet the Hart algorithm. It is a recursive loop of performance and feedback that leaves absolutely no room for the messy variables of human error. Flawless execution remains. His charm is automated. It is a pre-programmed script running on internal hardware built from the twin metals of childhood neglect and adult ambition. The code is tight. Notice the missing pauses. His speech patterns are designed to aggressively monopolize the listener's cognitive bandwidth, leaving no psychological space for any form of dissent. Total narrative control. It is kinetic mask. He harnesses this energy to hide a deep, underlying existential dread that would swallow him whole if the movement ever stopped. Motion prevents death. His efficiency is chilling. He treats every 24-hour cycle like a biological resource to be extracted until the very marrow of the day is dry. Resource depletion. He isn't a comic. He is a distribution hub for a specific brand of high-octane distraction, designed to keep the masses looking at the screen. Pure output. His feed is telemetry. Every post functions as a measurement of his exact cultural relevance relative to the current global attention span. Real-time mapping. Every machine eventually breaks. There is always a moment where the structural integrity of the psyche fails under the immense load of its own ambition. System failure imminent. The car leaves the road. The biological hardware suffered a catastrophic failure when the frame crumpled, and his physical back snapped in the dark. Hardware crash confirmed. This was the dark. It was a period of forced diagnostic stasis, where the hyperactive processor was finally silenced by the reality of physical pain. Forced reboot. The mogul was deleted. Only the organism remained in that bed, facing the absolute void of a world that continued to turn without his input. Total irrelevance. This is psychological death. His ego was completely incinerated in that room, leaving only the raw, bleeding data of a broken human being. Ash and code. He didn't rebuild a human. He utilized that downtime to install a new, more resilient operating system designed for the next phase of the war. Upgrade complete. Health wasn't the goal. The recovery was a cold recalibration of his internal urgency, replacing the fear of nothing with the mandate of everything. The mandate holds. He found terrifying clarity. He emerged with sharper jokes and business moves that became significantly more predatory than anything seen before the crash. Increased lethality. The rebuild was total. He was no longer running from North Philly. He was racing toward total market domination with a singular, cold focus. No looking back. Look at his output. This is a biological marvel of ego reconstruction that operates with a level of calculated obsession that most cannot fathom. Pure machine. The scar is evidence. That mark on his spine represents a hardware upgrade that most humans would not have had the psychic strength to survive. Metal in the bone. We see the conglomerate. It is built on the ashes of a comedian's neurosis, transcending the mere genre of funny to become something else entirely. Beyond laughter, he is a biological asset. He has become a high-yield investment vehicle that runs on caffeine, adrenaline, and an absolute refusal to disappear. The yield is high. His laughter is camouflage. Beneath the sonic output lies a cold, obsessive drive to optimize every waking second for the extraction of maximum equity. The mask works. He doesn't work hard. What we are seeing is a relentless extraction of value from his own nervous system for the sake of growth. High-speed mining. Look at the pacing. His career is not a marathon, but rather a sustained tactical sprint that has lasted for over 2 decades without slowing. No fatigue detected. Efficiency has a price. The human element is frequently sacrificed to ensure the brand architecture remains pristine and untouchable by the outside world. The price is paid. Every interaction is transactional. Every smile is a calculated move on a grand chessboard that only his internal processor can truly see. Checkmate is inevitable. He is an experiment. Kevin is the ultimate test of what happens when trauma is channeled through a high-frequency entrepreneurial lens for decades. Results are in. The machine still runs. The glitch is still there, forcing him to scan the horizon for the next threat or void to fill. Hunting continues. Forget the how. The real question is what happens when the machine finally runs out of new territory to conquer and consume. The end is unknown.